Okay, so I just thought it would be easier to show than to try to explain it. So this video is going to cover two issues. It's going to cover making a whole brand new event, something that doesn't exist at all in any way on the calendar. It's also going to cover if you have some kind of entry on the calendar. Maybe it's maybe it's a recurring event and you need to change something about it. Maybe you need to change the entire recurring event and change, I don't know, the location or the time series that it's going to occur, whatever. But if it's on the event calendar in any way at all, you will not be creating a new event. So step one, let's just talk about creating a brand new event. You would click on add your event. Ignore this right here. It's just today's timestamp. It has nothing to do with your event. Put in the title and the description. Really, you can change this, but I don't necessarily recommend it. I don't mind, prettying it up on the other side, but if you're comfortable with it, you can use these different formatting features. One thing you may want to care about is this is how you would add a link. So if you wanted the link to your Facebook page, for instance, you could click on that, which allows you to insert the link, and then type whatever that link is here and hit apply, and there it is. So that's how you would do that. You put the time and date of the event. That's pretty self-explanatory. If it's an all-day event, then you would check all day. And it would just basically not give a time, just give a date. I do want to clarify something when you have a recurring event or something that's going to happen on more than one day. Just because it's going to happen on more than one day, you would not, like, let's say it's going to happen from the 20th to the 25th. I know that you probably think you should say start on the 20th and end on the 25th. That's not how you would do it. What you're actually trying to do if you're trying to make a recurring series is this is just about the first day of the series. So whatever the time and date is of the first day, that's what goes here. If you need multiple days, you would simply check on this. Let's say it's going to be let's do that, the 20th through the 25th of April, and it's all going to be at 8 to 5. Okay, so you would say it's going to happen daily. Now, I just want to take a quick aside. Let's say you're going to have 2 or 3. It's not being on a schedule. It's just going to happen intermittently, and you needed to give it different dates or something like that. That's where this once function comes in, and you can do that multiple times, multiple times. To just say it's okay, it's going to happen again once next Tuesday, the 20, whatever that is, 8th at 3 p.m. That's what you would do down here. But right now I'm going to talk about a true recurring series where it's happening every day or every week or what have you. So this is a recurring series that's going to happen daily, every single day. If you wanted it to be every other day, that's where that would come in. This would happen daily every 2 days. That's what that means. But we're going to say it's going to happen every day, every 1 day. We're going to go ahead and keep this easy and say it's going to happen at the same time, starting at 8. And, because this says ending at 5, that's exactly what that would mean. So if it's going to happen every day, and we said the 25th is when it was going to end, we're going to say, okay, it's going to end on the 25th. And so that's what would happen. It's going to go and create multiple days where from 8 to 5 every day until the 25th, that's going to show up on the calendar, and that's the recurring series. Let's say it's going to do that, but you also have a couple one-off dates. That's where that once function comes in. You can do that, and you just say, okay, now I only want to add it once more. It's going to happen on the 28th. It's not going to be at the same time. You can do that. It's going to be at a different time at 3, sure, whatever, a.m. It doesn't really matter. Whatever you want to happen is what will happen. So it's going to happen at a different time, 3 a.m. to 5 p.m., just that once. And that's it. Like, that's all you have to do. I'm going to trash this right now. You can always trash it. If you don't like what you just put up there, just delete that one thing and it's gone. Let me think. Okay, so let's say that it's going to be a monthly caucus event And so it's going to happen every month, but it's not going to be on the same, it's not always going to be on the 20th of the month. It's going to happen every month, but it's going to be like, you know, every first Tuesday of the month, right? So what you would do is if this, well, let's keep it Monday because today is Monday. So let's keep it the same. So we're going to say it's going to be monthly, every 1 month on a different day. It's going to be the first, because right now we are on the first Monday. Actually, we're not on the first Monday. We're on the, let's see. We are on the third Monday of the month. So let's just say for consistency, that's what we would be doing. Okay, we want it on the third Monday at the same time. You can change the time if you wanted to. Let's just say at the same time. And now we don't want it to end. We're going to assume at least that this is going to continue forever and ever, or at least until you tell me. So we're just going to say it's never going to end. It's going to be every third Monday of the month. Even if this is just a standard entry and you need to like update it every month with a speaker or whatever, that is how you would get it on the calendar in its most basic form. So you can add an image. I don't really, let's see if this changes. I don't really know if it does now. Whatever. Yeah, okay, so it still doesn't show you that you added the picture, but you can see that you did actually add a picture. Here's the name of the picture. Don't expect to see it. It is there, I did get it, you'll see it. Categories, these I always check on the back end, so it's okay if you don't select them, but it does help. To clarify, this is like a march, something where you want everybody to show up and be involved in the community or whatever. This you'll never use. This is something that I use on the back end. This would be like if you're trying to get petitions out and signed, if you're scheduling some kind of canvassing event, whatever, something like that. Save the date would be things like Kennedy King or fundraisers or whatever. Candidate events, that's specifically for candidate campaigns. You're specifically doing something for a candidate. That is what that is. If you were affiliated directly with the Democratic Party, I'm not talking about ACLU, I'm not talking about Black Lives Matter, I'm not talking about progressive, I'm talking specifically, this is the Democratic Black Caucus, this is the Progressive Caucus, those types of things. Then they come under Democratic Party events. You will not select the number 3. You will find whatever, if it has a subcategory, you select the subcategory, okay? So let's say it's a caucus event, it's a monthly caucus meeting, okay? You can do more than one. So it's a caucus meeting, but let's say that particular caucus meeting, or it's always going to be about, I mean, this wouldn't really apply because not all caucus meetings are about a candidate, but let's say it was about supporting a candidate for that meeting. You can also add that to it. So feel free to put what you want in there within reason, and I will clean it up if it needs to be on the back end. If you're familiar with tags, use them. Really, it's just a way of getting the internet to see your event. Saying things like vote, it's kind of not relevant. They all, of course, vote applies to a Democratic Party calendar entry. It's not going to really get you far because the word vote on the internet happens so many times. It's not really going to help you. Just about every venue that you could think of is probably in here in some form or another. If you start typing, it's going to pop up. There's even a virtual meetup one for our current situation. There's a C event description for when just nothing you can find applies. If you're really going down all the way through this and you can find nothing that applies to you, then you can keep it as the default. There's even something in here like private, yeah. So for like meet and greets, when you don't necessarily want to show all the information, but you want to give a general idea, we have, even that is in there. Organizer, if you're part of an entity, you're probably included in this list. If you have somehow not been included in this list, if you're a brand new entity or organizer, you can type it in here. New thing. Obviously, it's saying create new thing if you were to do that. Do not put in your personal information, because if you're an entity, then that entity theoretically can change the contact information. If you are not necessarily going to be the leader of whatever that entity is for 1,000 years, you shouldn't have your personal information in here. Maybe the website, if there is one, that theoretically wouldn't change. But especially if you're just a person, like not even really an entity, you're just doing it, you don't even really need to have an organizer, because all of that information your contact information can be included in the event description itself. So that should at least get you far enough on the organizer details. Event website that is specific for this event date, this event recurring series, whatever the case may be. This is not the website link for your entire organization. That's not what this is for. This is, if you have some sort of link that goes directly to this event or recurring event series, great, put it here. If it's not that, leave it blank. Your contact information, if you want it to show up in the sidebar of the event, you can put that here. Again, this is specific to the event, that one event or that one series of events. If there's not an organizer in there, you can put that info here. You can put a cost in if you want, that will go through as well. So once you get done, you just hit submit event. What should happen, oh, I didn't put in a title. Let me just, come on. Okay. When you click submit event, what you should see is this. It'll say event submitted. If you're not seeing that, then we didn't get it. Once you submit it and you see this, what's happening is it's generating an email to events@sarasotadems.org, which currently goes to me and Pam Newberry and me, Kimberly Pierce. When we get it, it's in pending status. So don't expect it to show up on the calendar immediately. What happens is we see it in pending, we review it, we change things and edit it if we need to, and then we publish it. So it usually takes a couple of days, because there's only 2 of us at any given point in time if we're lucky. But if you don't get an email back from us within a couple of days saying, hey, your event's on the calendar, definitely reach out to events@sarasotadems.org. I will show you actually what that looks like. So here's what happens on our end. So as you can see, I just submitted that fake event. Here's what comes to Pam and me. We see this. We see that you have added an event and we need to review it. So we click on review and we go to the back end of our website. If it ever pulls up, okay. And we can change the title, we can change the description, we can edit formatting, we can change the categories if we need to update them correctly. We can look at the recurring series if there was one and make sure that it's gone through correctly. We can add in any of this information. If you haven't added any contact information, and we don't know who you are, like you're a new entity that we don't know what it is, we can't respond to this event and tell you that it's been created. So what would happen is, if we get this and we decide, yes, this is something we recognize, we know what it is, and everything's good, we just hit publish. And the second we hit publish, it becomes live on the calendar. And then what we do is we take what is the link and we copy it, and we come back over to this notification email that we got that an event, was asked to be on the calendar. We hit reply all, get rid of that because it's necessary, and we paste in your email address. I'm sorry, that's not true at all. We paste in the event link, which ignore this because it wasn't published, so it's not real right now. But that would have been the link for the event itself with a thing saying complete. And then we would have come over to the contact information, assuming you had provided it, And that is where we would copy the email address from and send the email to. If you haven't provided it, we cannot send you this email. There's no way for us to tell you that it's actually been done. So please do that if we don't have a reason to have already known you. Okay, so that's all for new events. So let's get rid of this because it's not necessary. And discuss a recurring event or an event that already exists on the calendar. So let's say that you know of an event on the calendar, but something about it needs to change. It really doesn't matter what it is. It could be a recurring event. It could be a standalone event, any event in any way at any time that is on the calendar in some format, and you just need something about it to change, whether it's the picture or it's the time and place that it will be happening, or it's the entire series. Doesn't matter. If it exists on the calendar in any way, do not add a new event to update whatever the thing is. Find the event, if you can, specifically the event that needs to be changed, and we'll start there. So I'm going to use this as an example. An upcoming meeting, which is part of a recurring series, needs to be changed because right now we are not holding any in-person meetings. So we go to May and we find that particular event. Here it is. This particular event, Sarasota County Black Caucus monthly meeting. It's a recurring series for the month of May. So we click on it. For the month of May, something's going to be different. It is not going to be held here. It's going to be a virtual event. So that's what needs to be changed. But it doesn't matter what needs to be changed, anything. It could be the date and time. It could be, hey, I need to change my website for, what it shows as the organizer information. Maybe the organizer for the Black Caucus has changed. And so this, whatever it is, doesn't matter, okay? Any of this needs to be changed. You go to the event itself. Here it is. Here is the URL. You right click in order to copy that link, and then you go to your email and you create an email and you paste that link in it. That's step one. That tells us on the other side, hey, this is the event or the recurring series of events that something needs to be done with. You send that to events@sarasotadems.org with the subject of update next event or whatever. Maybe it's the recurring series, whatever you need to say for the title. So in the description of the email, or in the text of the email, I should say, explain what it is that needs to change. Explain that, it's not going to be the third Monday of every month. It's going to be the second Tuesday of every 2 months, whatever it is. Explain what needs to be changed in here. If you need to change a picture, attach whatever the picture is that you want to update. If it's not, in this case, this is a recurring series of events. If you're not trying to change the entire series, you're just trying to change that one event, say so. It doesn't matter which way you do it. As long as we have the link and a clear explanation of what you want to have done, we can do all of that for you. So once you get done, update this item to virtual for this date only. So once you do that and send it to us, I'm not going to do that because that would confuse Pam. Pam and I will get it because this email address goes to both of us. Within a couple of days, same as for a new event, we will reply back to you with the updated link, because let's say in the case of a recurring event, you just need to change the next event. It's not going to be this link anymore. It's going to be a brand new link specific to that one event. So we will be replying back to you with the updated URL. If it is the same event, if we're not changing just one instance of it, it'll be the same URL. It'll just and we'll reply back to you and just say it's complete. And you can click on that same link and it will just show your updated information. So same as with a new event. If you get an email, don't get an email from us within a couple of days, please reply to that email that you sent and kick us in the butt. Let us know, hey, we haven't heard anything yet. What's going on? Is our event updated? That should be it. Thank you very much.